Good morning. We out here about to bust on some rocks again. Doggone yellowfly came by. Them things are bad right now this time of year. We just had a big rain about a couple hours ago. It's dripping a little bit. It's been dry. We need the rain. Daisy Mae, she's wandering around over here behind me. And anyway, we're gonna take one of those flakes we knocked off of the rock the last time and make us a huntable point out of it. And oh yeah, this is the blade I was working on off of that rock. And actually got it pretty skinny, pretty narrow. I still got work to do. It's not through. I was gonna make a knife out of it, but Mike Smith said I need to make a spear point out of it. He could be on to something. So it's narrow. It's got some rough edges. I'll get those off, but I just quit with it. But it's my nappings came a long way. I normally would have broke a point that long and that narrow, and I got it past the breaking point. Everything else I'll be done with pressure flakers, and you know, sharpen it up more. Can make a knife or a spear point. If I get to hunt my buddy Thomas Van's place, you can legally kill a pig with a spear there. I make it half that on a good heavy oak sapling and kill one. I got a friend, Dillard Winters. He's killed several hogs with spears. He hunts a lot of private land that's got hogs. And I think the first one he killed with a point he had made, and with a hickory, you know, a hickory handle there. Anyway, enough about that. There it is from the last time. I told you I'd show it to you. So we're going to take a flake out of the bucket. We'll grab the one on the top. And this is a flake that we busted off of that rock. We'll try to make a point out of it. So good morning. Thank you, Lord, for the rain, for the health to be out here. My leg's actually feeling a little better today. Of course, it's early, but I ain't gonna do no walking. I'm gonna try to stay off of it as much as I can, because I want to get back to work pretty soon, and I want to go hunting and fishing pretty soon. So my wife's working today, bless her heart. I got the best wife in the world. Thank you, Miss Tammy. She supports anything I do. I always got my back. 37 years in June. Thank you, Lord. All right, let's get started. That's enough yapping. Let's make this rock really quick. All right, I'll do most of this, if I can get this camera about right here. Do most of this with my old rock here. Now, I ain't gonna talk much about it, I'll just do it. But I'm gonna go around and get all these narrow edges off, and we may break this one and have to grab another one. But we'll see. Let's get busy. Have to keep glancing up there and make sure I got it on camera here. Starting to take a little bit of shape there. I forget them on camera and don't talk. I don't know what to talk about much this morning. It's a blessing to be alive, for sure. It's a blessing to live in the country. I'm sitting here. A while ago, when I sat down, I could hear a kingfisher in my pond out there. And I can hear mockingbirds, all kind of noise around me. My neighbor's chickens cackling over there. All good sounds. All right, we're still a little bit wide, a lot wide actually. I want a point about 7/8 of an inch wide, an inch maybe at the most. About as long as it is now. You can see it's starting to take some shape. Has a little ridge running through here, but the point is straight. It's flat except for the end. And I don't really care about the ridge. If anything, in my mind, it'll give it strength through the spine of it there. But anyway, let's keep working it around. Narrow it up some. I'm gonna use I got a little bopper thing here. We'll use it to, you can actually grind them like that as well. But this works. I like to just whack it. All right, we got our shape down some more here. It's getting thin. A little bit crooked in there, I can work that out. Just get her finished up real quick, or at least get her ready to sharpen. Get rid of those bit of crooked places in there. There we go. Man, it's like, seems like it's forever before bow season, but summer will be coming and gone before you know it. And bow season will be here. I think it comes in here September the 10th. But like I said, we can hunt pigs on public land August the 15th. I look forward to that. It'll be hot, but I'll hunt out of the boat. I won't make those really long loops. Even with my leg heel, I will take short loops out of the boat. And fish a little bit too. One of the best times I've ever had on the river is I was hunting out of the boat, and I killed a deer off the ground with a Howard Hill style longbow. Actually a bow my friend Marley Thompson made for me. And that morning I was on foot walking and killed a little young deer off the ground. And then caught a mess of catfish through the middle of the day. And I was sitting there fishing and heard a pig squeal that afternoon. So I took off in there and killed a pig that evening. So I killed a deer in the morning, pig in the evening, and caught a mess of catfish. That's a pretty good day. It was fun. It's like that sometimes, and then sometimes you can't find a critter. You may walk 5 or 6 miles and not see one, and then go back a day or two later and go 100 yards and get on one. That's why it's called hunting. And that's what draws me to go back. If it's a guaranteed thing, I won't let it be fun. But it's a whole lot of fun. When I was younger, I would really get after them hard. And now I try to pick my spots pretty wise. I only hunt really high percentage places. I won't climb a tree if it's not high percentage. And I mean, that's like wore out. I got to almost know I'm going to see a deer before I climb. And you should do that. You shouldn't just climb and hope. If you don't have a spot that you know you're going to see a deer and you got no business climbing, you need to keep walking, to keep scouting until you find that spot. And I'm talking about hunting public land. And you kill more deer like that. I can't sit up in the tree and just like, I don't know. You're hunting over a good hot feed tree, you know they're coming. There'll be sign there. And give it an evening and a morning. If they don't come to that tree, then go find another. I like to go in the evening. I go in and hang my stand that afternoon. And then if I'm hunting out of a stand, get set up that afternoon. I can do it in daylight and kind of take my time about it. Not that much noise. And set that evening and then come back the next morning with no noise. You just get up the tree. And before you know it, you're killing stuff. I wanted to do this on one side and then flip and do the other side and make it like a single bevel deal. And you can maybe see, I should have probably said that. I wasn't thinking about it. My buddy Scott Perkins, he told me I'd be the man if I could make a single bevel. And so anyway, I'm getting pretty close to that. It's like a single bevel broadhead, but that's pretty cool. I've about got this thing where all I got to do is sharpen it and it would work. Is it super pretty? No. But will it kill a deer? No doubt. That needle point is a big thing, I believe, in my opinion. It's got little bit of thickness there, but I'm not going to worry about it. If anything, that'll keep the point from snapping. It's narrow enough that it'll get in there. It's about the right width, maybe a shade wider than I wanted, but when I sharpen it, it'll you know, it'll narrow up just a bit. But that's not too wide. That's probably an inch maybe. Thad Beckham says his points are wide as a nickel. I ain't got a nickel on me. I would like to see how wide it is. Let's put some notches in it here. A lot of people go all out doing those notches. I just make a little, it don't take much, just a little bit of gap there for the hafting to go in. And that's all you need. That's plenty right there, if you can see that. It's that little notch I made here. Put one on the other side. Stomach's just growling. It's telling me it's getting time to eat something. It's got humid out here. I'm about to sweat after that rain. Here we go. There's our notches. This point is getting about done. I would notch here. I mean, you know, I usually like to take some of this out, but I wait until I actually build the area this is going on, and because the area may be wider or narrower, so I'll actually make a. You can see this. I'll make this thing. I'll make a little bit of a cut a little bit of that out, so it'll sit down on the area, and hopefully that'll help keep it from doing this when it impacts. And that point there's ready. I just got to sharpen it. About that. And what I'll do for sharpening, I'll get a really fine tooth nail. If you were using a deer antler, see, this is pretty thick. You know, the Indian, he would use, our first man, primitive man, he'd use a deer antler and get him a rock and scrape that thing like that. Do both sides and make it like he'd make it like a flat-headed screwdriver. It'd be really narrow. And then he would take and go along through here and click little grooves in that joker, flip it over, click the same place. And there would be your serrations right there. So, and that's all that's lacking on here is putting some little serrations in it. I don't want to take flakes out. I just want to put little bitty serrations. You know, a steak knife works, right? That's what you're doing here. And when you break those off, those serrations, that each one of those little things sticking out there, each one of them sharp. Go back on the other side, you can see those little marks that you made. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's sharp right there. And I'll even take it and do it again on that side and make it even finer. And you have a finished point. I won't bore you with the rest of that, but you see, pretty much see how we made that point out of that flake. I just grabbed one off the top of the bucket there. And we got off that rock we did yesterday, we got that many flakes. And every one of them's, you know, you could get a point out of every one of them. So anyway, there you go. We made us an arrowhead. Pretty cool little arrowhead there. And that'll kill the biggest deer in the woods. And thank you for watching that. It's I could watch them guys like Jack Crafty and all those guys, Ryan Gill, make points all day long just watching them. And I'm not the best at it by any means, but it don't. I mean, you know, you got to bust some rocks to get where you get practiced up at it, but where you can make them on purpose, I guess you'd say. But when I first started this stuff, I went through, I bet you 20 or maybe 40 pounds of rocks, and never made a point like that. And now, with just through practice, I can come out here and do it. And a lot of the guys, you see the little flat place here? A lot of guys, the professional guys, they wouldn't like that. They want flake scars. When I say flake scars, I mean what you see on this side of it, going across it. But I don't care anything about the looks. I just want it to kill deer. That right there will kill a deer. And imagine the skills of a primitive man, an Indian, doing this. And his great-great-great-grandfather did it his whole life, and he showed his son and his son and his son, and all those generations of expertise in that. And those guys, I've found artifacts that as you do this, you learn what they were doing. You know exactly what they were doing, and the skill level that some of the stuff they do is like it'd take me a whole bunch more rocks before I could do that. And some of the chert that we have, we actually have some chert here on the rivers around here. I found some, but it has to be heat treated, and it's like trying to flake a railroad iron. And I've seen points made out of it that were perfect. So told you yesterday we was gonna make us a point, and we did. And we don't make a living with our points, and we throw some stuff like this together. Imagine how those guys did that lived off of their skills. And it's a fun hobby. You should try it sometime, and have you some band-aids ready. But thank you for watching, and I think the next thing we're going to do, if we can't go hunting, is build an arrow. And I have some dried river cane in there. We'll build us get us an arrow good and straight. I'll show you how to straighten one, and we'll put that point on it, and maybe we'll mark it, write something on the arrow where we can keep up with which one is which, and shoot something with this one. That would be really cool. All right. God bless you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.